I'm 91 years old now, and I can feel time differently than I used to, not in days or years, but in what's left. It's a strange thing, realizing you've lived almost all of your life, and only now beginning to understand it. A little too late. I used to believe life would slow down someday, that there would be a stretch of quiet years where everything settled, and I could finally sit with myself and understand what it had all meant. That part never came. Or maybe it did, and I just didn't notice. I wasn't a reckless man. I didn't ruin things in loud ways, and I just kept going. That's how it starts. Not with a mistake, but with a rhythm. In my 20s, I was busy trying to become someone. That word meant everything to me back then. Someone. I thought it meant stability, respect, a steady income. I believed if I could just get there, everything else would fall into place. Some of it did. I got a job, then a better one. Worked late, more often than I said I would. Always told myself it was temporary, just until things were secure. There's always a just until, isn't there? I met a woman in my late 20s. She had a quiet laugh, the kind you felt more than you heard. We took our time. I thought that meant we were doing it right. We married on a cloudy afternoon, simple, nothing grand. I remember her holding her bouquet just a little too tight. I told myself I'd make her happy, and maybe, sometimes, I did. But happiness, it isn't built in moments. It's built in the spaces between them. In my 30s, life filled up quickly. Work got heavier. Responsibilities multiplied. Quietly, we had a son. I remember holding him and feeling something deeper than love, something that made everything feel important. So I worked harder. That was always my answer. If something felt uncertain, I worked harder. If I felt distant, I worked harder. If I didn't know how to be present, I told myself providing was enough. I missed small things. That's how it happens. Not the big moments, the small ones. Bedtime stories I was too tired to read. Conversations I half listened to. A look on her face that I noticed, but never asked about. There's no alarm when it starts costing you. Just a slow shifting. My son grew up. One day he needed me for everything. Then less. Then hardly at all. I told myself that was normal. But I never asked what I had missed while he was still within reach. My wife became quieter over the years. Not unhappy, just further away. We shared a home, meals, routines, but something softer between us faded, I noticed. I just didn't know what to do with that kind of noticing. So I kept going. In my 40s, I had everything I once wanted. Stable work, a home, a life that looked right from the outside. I remember sitting one evening thinking, this is it, and feeling nothing. That frightened me. But I told myself, maybe that's just adulthood. The years sped up after that. My son left. The house grew quiet. Too quiet. My wife and I became polite with each other. No fights. No real closeness either. Just careful distance. We never said, something is missing. We just lived around it. Then she got sick. It wasn't sudden. We thought we had time. We always think that. We sat together more, but it was different, fragile, careful. One afternoon, I looked at her and realized I didn't really know her anymore. Not deeply, not the way I should have. I wanted to ask her things. Were you happy? Did I make your life better, or just busier? Did you feel alone, even when I was there? But I didn't ask, and she didn't say. She passed on a morning that looked like any other. The world didn't change, just mine. After that, the house felt finished, not empty, finished. The memories came back slowly, in pieces. A chair no one sat in anymore, a silence where her voice used to be. You start to understand things, but there's nowhere to take that understanding. My son visits when he can. He has his own life now. There's a distance there too, built slowly, over years. I sometimes wonder what kind of father I really was. So what did it take me over 50 years to realize? Life doesn't drift because of big mistakes. It drifts because of what you keep postponing. The conversations, the presence, the simple act of noticing. You think there will be time later, but later becomes something you can't reach. I wasn't a bad man, but I was a distracted one. And over decades, distraction becomes absence. Now I sit here, most evenings, in a quiet house. Sometimes I still speak out loud, as if she might answer. I've made peace with most of it. Not clean peace, but something close. There's gratitude and there's regret. They sit side by side. I'm grateful for the life I had, and I'm sorry for the parts of it I missed while I was living it. If this meant something to you, then maybe it's not too late. For me, I've run out of later.